So we're gonna be mixing our gray wash straight from our dynamic black ink. It is gonna be like a 1 drop, a 3 drop, and maybe a 5 drop. You really just gonna be using some. We really just gonna be using some light tones. Nothing too dark. Nothing too dark. All right, y'all. We going ahead with the speed stick. About to lay down our stencil. I always go across a couple of times. Then I'll come down a couple of times. Just to make sure you got an even layer. We're gonna take our stencil. Just sit it down. Press it on evenly. Just to make sure all the lines is down. And by this being so simple, it should stick pretty easy. And I ain't gonna hold it on there for too long, but normally I sit something on top to let it hold down for a little bit. Especially if it's detailed, because I want to catch every little detail. Now let's go ahead and pull this up. Boom, we'll try to slide over. But we good with that. By it being a simple square, you know, it ain't a lot you gotta wipe off. I'm not worrying about that. If it was detailed, I probably would let this sit on here for a little minute. Because as you see, it's easy to wipe off. Alright, y'all, we're going to start out with the 9 curve mag. Y'all can't see it, 9 curve mag. At 6.5 volts. Let's start on with our lightest tone. Remember, we're going to only use the pendulum, which is back, forward, constantly. Alright, y'all, our lightest tone, I'm going to dip into the 1 drop and dip into the just the regular empty rinse cup. And only pendulum motion, see how that's trying to wipe off? So what I'm going to do, I'm going to structure it out. This is our lightest tone. Trying to keep a consistent flow. Trying not to dig in no areas, make sure you got an even coat. See, that's already wiping off. But y'all see that light tone that we already got down? And for this whole piece, matter of fact, I may not even do it for the whole piece. Otherwise, if we could go back and forth doing the bottom, and I may show like whip shade in the middle, may show like backstroke at the top. But when I post this video, y'all let me know how y'all want to see it, or y'all just want to see me to do this whole square just with the pendulum motion. Alright, y'all, we building the tone up. Right now we still at our light. Started moving a little bit faster. But if you ain't used to it, you could definitely start off like super slow, super slow. Or you can kind of go back and forth. Stay as long as you're going across, up, cross, up, cross, cross, cross. That's that pendulum method that I'm showing you about. Back and forth, back and forth. So it really like up, down, kind of like that. But in the fast pace, it don't really look like that. It's like you're kind of going in and out the skin, in and out the skin. So for the structure out your corners, you can easily just use the edge of that mag. So yes, that's the thing that you can do. Make lines with a mag if needed. Use the edges of it. Map it out. And this basically what I do for drawing on or tattooing realism. When I don't use no lines, you'll structure it out with the shading. And that's all we doing, y'all, back and forth. I say move at your own pace. Whatever volts you're running at. Right now I'm at 6.5, so I can move a little bit faster. But also if I want to, I can slow it down. But if I was running super fast, like at 8, I'll be like, really like, woo, 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 woo. Because at 8, you're moving the needle going up and down super fast, so you got to move your hand super fast. So we're going to do that same process. I'm going to just go across this whole bottom. And y'all let me know what y'all think. If we should do the middle, like whip shading, or backstroke or different methods within this square, or should I just change the whole piece up and do this whole square all pendulum motion, back and forth, back and forth, back and forth? So yeah, y'all, like I was just saying, you see a little bit of that rake pattern because we're going back and forth the same direction. That's why I would recommend the cross hatching technique, and also mixing the techniques like backstroke and cross hatching. So you'll pull, you'll see that rake pattern, but you'll come the opposite way and cross patterns. That's why they call it the cross hatching technique, and then the smoothing those rake patterns out. So one thing, if you don't want to lose your stencil, you could just go and hit it with the edge of the mag. If you're only doing realistic, hit it with the edge of the mag just to map it out. So once it do wipe away, you'll still have your shade there to know basically a map out of where it was. That's why I say patience is definitely needed when tattooing. Not even just dealing with your client, also to be patient to constantly build up these tones. Like realism takes a lot more time than the average like illustrative tattoo. So to build these tones up, I definitely think you need to build up your patience. Because going back and forth, you don't want to get bored with the process. You want to fall in love with what you're doing, and actually the end result and how it's going to come out. So going through that process is definitely worth it once you see the end result. From the beginning, you don't want to start off fast because it's all about trying to get it smooth. So however slow you need to go, just keep at that same consistent speed. And as you do it constantly, like build up the repetitions, you'll have muscle memory and you'll be able to speed up your hand over time. But you ain't got to start off with no speed. It's all about the smoothness. And the technique y'all can also try, like I said, I mostly use the wrist. I mostly use my wrist, but sometimes when I tattoo, I relax my elbow on my leg, and I really just like be going from the elbow and just sliding my arm from the elbow. And that's if I'm trying to cover a bigger area. You see how I'm going all the way across? All the way across versus with my wrist. I can't go all the way across. It's a lot harder versus just moving my elbow. Kind of like that. So there's a lot of ways you all can try out. But you'll have to build that consistency up though. So what I'm about to start doing now, I'm about to go in our 2-drop. Since we've been using our 1-drop with the white, let me see, with the rinse water, I'm going to go in our 2-drop. Let's darken this bottom up. You all see this is a lot darker than that light tone. And that's why I say you want to use light tone, because this is like a dark tone, but it's only a 2-drop. And for those that don't know, this is basically how I make my gray wash. So this is only 2 drops of black, and the rest is only distilled water. And this shade over here, most of this shade is my 1-drop mixed with water, so it's really like not even a 4-drop of black. And the goal with getting the smooth shading is to where we don't see no light tones. You ain't gonna be able to see that skin tone, that light tone underneath that. It's all gonna be smooth. It's all gonna be that shade. It's not gonna be the color of the fake skin. So basically how I say that, so it's like saturating it, building up your tones. That's the same way you can look at packing black. You shouldn't see no patches of the skin tone, nothing like that. It should be all solid. And remember, this is not a whitewash we're using. Whitewash is getting a lot more saturated. This is just a regular gray wash we're building up. I want to say this, want y'all to hear it. Fake skin, that's the difference between it, because right now we only using our wash down, like our water with a little drops, mixed with our light white 1-drop. And you see it's still building up to where it's like it's getting darker. But the thing about real skin, you can use that white drop into that 1-drop all day, but once it heal up, it's going to still be super, super light. On fake skin, it looks like it's constantly getting darker, but the thing about it, fake skin don't have to heal. So that's why I said trust your tones. Whatever tone you're putting in, stick with it and build on top. Because once it heals, it'll look like just what you want it to look like. Versus if you go too light and it's just going to lighten up and fall apart. You still want the ink to hold itself together and structure out that tattoo. Like far as its age. If I know I put a 4-drop on that age on real skin, I could trust and believe that it won't fade away. But if I try to stick with that 2-drop, it definitely will fade away over time. And the whole square will look super soft. I'm going to show y'all the difference. I don't have black out, but if I go on my 3-drop and hit this edge, it's probably going to look like black. Look at that. And that's just 3 drops. That's why I say the main difference on fake skin is those tones. This is not even a medium tone. This is only 3 drops of black. And it looks like it's a black. Like it looks like it's a solid black, but it's not. But on fake skin, on real skin, if I use this 3-drop, it's going to heal soft. Because there's no, it's not a dark tone. But on fake skin, look, you can use a 3-drop and make it look like a black. So this imagine how a black will look next to this, even darker. And that's definitely what I recommend you all. If you go into a dark tone, I'll say keep on using it. Like I'm about to keep going around this edge with this 3-drop, get all that dark, as much dark ink out the needle as I can before I go in a light tone. Or before I go in a light tone, I'll just rinse it out if I don't have more space to add more dark. You can just have your rinse cup on the side, rinse it out, and then go into your light tone. But don't never use a black tone and go into your lightest tone, because at that point it's no longer your lightest tone. You now have a medium tone. Pendulum video. So for the whole thing, y'all just go back and forth pendulum, back and forth pendulum. And that's one thing I don't know if you all heard on fake skin, that's the difference. Our 3-drop is so dark, look like black, versus 1-drop, not even a 4-drop with white, is still a bit dark as you constantly build it up. So real skin, you got to think your colors have to heal up. So your light tones is actually going to be light. No matter how much you hit those light tones, it's going to stay that tone. So when it heal up, it's going to be a soft gray that you laid out. We're going back in the 2-drop, and I'm going to shade from this dark, which is the 3-drop, and start pulling in some of that 2-drop. Just from the corner. I ain't going to go all the way down, but it's going to be just from this corner. I'm going to show you how you'll build your tones up. Like all that was 1-drop and just water, and we just coming on top with this 2-drop. Right next to this 3-drop that's look super black. And you'll see how introducing those tones on top of each other, that second tone gonna go in way faster because you already worked the skin up. So the skin is open. And once you put these other colors, other tones on top, by the skin being open, it'll easily go in. But this fake skin, so you know, it still feel like it's going in a lot easier. You don't have to go over it that much. The same thing with real skin though. Once you lay those tones down before it, they don't take much to put those darker tones on top of it. Alright y'all, we got this solid pendulum shading. That's the method back and forth. We're about to be done with this part. I'm going to go ahead and leave this alone. And I'm going to go in that middle. But I guess a cross hatching. Cross hatching, backstroke, mixed with the cross hatching. You're going to see that difference, then we're going to go whip shade at the top. So we're going to see the different effects it could accomplish. Thank y'all for watching the video. Definitely hope this helps you all out. Basically what the pendulum method is. And just so you all know, I did the whole thing with a 9 curve mag. I believe it's bug pen needle. 9 curve mag. The reason why I say bug pen, it's a smaller diameter needle, so it makes smaller holes, which is going to give you the chance to constantly go over and over and build up those tones. Versus a standard needle, it'll puncture bigger holes, so you probably don't get as many passes that ink could go in like fast.